Sit back, relax, and get ready to embrace the work hard, smile large vibe.
Welcome to the Work Hard, Smile Large podcast. I'm your founder and host, Nicole Christofferson, and I am elated today to be meeting with Mindy Hoffman, who is with Women of Austin and who is also a fellow podcaster. So thank you so much for joining me, and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here, and I loved connecting with you. And
it's like we were meant to meet months ago and talk before I probably launched my podcast.
Yeah.
Because we haven't stopped talking since you got here.
Pretty much. So I started Women of Austin. A few years ago, I got the idea to do a book featuring women in Austin. And I started looking around and meeting women, a coffee table book. And it was going to be the first thing I did after my divorce. We had a business together, and he got the business, which was fine because it was e-commerce. So it was like packing barbecue sauce all day to like a box in a box in a box, and then put that in a box and ship it to Amazon, who puts it in a box. And say, okay, so none of that. So I decided to, girl power, showcase women in Austin.
You had obviously met a lot of cool women to be inspired to do that too, right? So your relationships were probably inspiring you to do that?
So I met someone right after my divorce. I realized that I had like only my mommy friends or my ex-husband's friends, but we moved here. We had only been here like 3 or 4 years. And so I just realized, I was like, it's time for me to start over, start fresh. And I was given the opportunity to think about what I really wanted to do and what really mattered to me. And so I have a little girl, and I wanted to show her that, we can do anything and we can be strong, and women support women. And my family's in California, but I'm still really close with my mom and my grandma.
So we have that in common.
Yes, I know, so much.
So much in common. But yeah, I mean, mentoring our children and being a role model and teaching them the possibilities just through our actions is so powerful. I've learned that through our relocation here, right? And not having any friends or any family or professional friends, sphere of influence, personal friends, and whatever. Like, we started all over a few years ago as well. So I totally relate to that.
Rebuilding is it's hard and it's crazy, but it's exciting.
It is.
If you look at it.
It is. When you get over to the other side and you realize how many more people you want to meet in the world and how much you have to learn from others. Like, I think it's such a huge opportunity the more you introduce yourself and put yourself out there, because you just gain so much from others.
It's amazing. So part of my story is I went to rehab actually before my divorce. Because we were just like party buddies drinking too much. And then I knew that I needed to make a change. Speaking of, your children are watching. And so I went and got better. And I was able to form connections and be honest and real and meet people with our masks off. And that completely changed everything for me. And that made me, who I am today.
Yeah. So much more vulnerable, right?
Yes.
And honest. I mean, that's part of everything in life. And it's sometimes the most crippling thing for others,
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of work to be comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah. I realized that I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I was like drinking to mask it. And I had to take all that away and be like, oh, okay, who am I?
Yeah. Our health is so important.
Yeah.
So important. And that's what I tell my kids too. They're like, oh, this is happening. Like, processed food. We're going back to the fruits and vegetables. Sorry, girls. It's like a constant thing. And same thing in life with us.
How do you do that? It's so hard.
Girl,
the processed food and the kids. Like,
I'm going to sleep when I'm dead. That's how I do it. So anybody that knows me and follows my personal feeds knows that, like, I have a huge produce garden, that I'm always cooking. I'm always pulling my kids into the kitchen. So like, there's nothing to eat. I'm like, remember, you know how to make that. I'll sit and watch you, I'm trying to teach them, like, you don't have to open a bag to eat all the time. Like, sometimes you can take something out and cut it up and throw it in a bowl, So I'm never sitting still, put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and I don't know that everybody could do what I do, but that's just, I enjoy it. So it's something that I enjoy. Buy salad. You can buy healthy stuff that's already pre-prepared if you don't want to make it yourself. And so it's easier to get, we cheat sometimes and get factor meals, and we love them and they're so good. But it's just like exercise. I'm not killing myself exercising every day to be healthy. I'm consistent. It's a lifestyle. I walk some days I have extra time and I do more weights, but I'm consistently taking care of my health and exercising 5 days a week at least. And if I do that, and whatever means that is, it's consistency and it's lifestyle.
I've tried to do that, go through fads or diets or workout programs, and never sticks.
We're not robots. Like some people like to go into the gym and do the same thing. Like never one day is the same in my life. So I just go with it.
I think that's why I'm attracted to you, like as a person, as like a friend, because a lot of the things that you say and do, it's just, I get it.
And you fall out of those phases and you're honest. You're like, oh my gosh, I haven't worked out in 3 weeks because I'm on the road and I tried to walk, but it was raining. And you're like, okay, as long as mentally the effort was there and keep drinking the water and trying to put healthy food in your body, it's consistency. And that's what I mean by lifestyle. I just mean it's consistency. Yeah. No binging, no crashing. You know what I mean? All that crash stuff is temporary, just like, it just doesn't get you very far. So
that's a good reminder too, to like, if reset when things are starting to get derailed and try to figure out how to like, it's okay.
Or say no. Like it's super hard sometimes to be out eating with my kids or my family and be like, no, I don't want that. I want this instead because I want to have a glass of wine with it. Or no, you know what I mean? And know like what I'm going to give her. Like, no, I had that for lunch, so I'm going to have a salad for dinner.
Yeah.
So just sometimes it's easier than the other times.
There's a lot of bargaining going on in my house too. It's like, can we have this for lunch? It's like, if we have salad for dinner, but then we're really going to have salad for dinner.
Dad's having dessert. I'm like, okay, fine. You can have dessert.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I can't say no now.
Right.
So yeah, health is a huge part of keeping us ticking every day.
Yeah.
So we can serve our community or help our clients or be a good friend to our neighbors. I think it's just part of the process of soaking up life and like giving yourself the time to be present.
Yeah.
As much as you can. Yeah. So here we are, connecting people.
I love it.
Now, where do we go with that?
Yeah.
You are so far ahead on this process than me, and I'm so inspired by you.
Oh, thank you. Well, just a little over a year or so. You're right behind me.
If you haven't listened, you can go to Women of Austin podcast. She's got over a year of episodes to listen to and some really great guests just talking about collaboration. You take it away because I know you can say it better than I can.
So I was going to do the book and then COVID happened and I realized like what is my why? Why am I doing this book? And it was to share stories and inspire people. And so I reset and I was like, how can I share stories faster? Well, let's do a podcast. It's like, it's so good. And then people are into video now. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do a video podcast too. And then I started that and I met the women from the book. And then I met the women when I started to book for the podcast. And I realized that a lot of them didn't know each other. But I was like, if this person knew that person, the things that they could do together would be amazing. And so I started doing monthly networking events. And those were great and connections were formed. And then people were asking for more. So we started a member community where we have things to do weekly. And it just keeps growing. And I just keep listening to what people want and giving people a space to share their stories and talk and connect. And if I'm at a networking event, we had one last night and I walked by and two of my friends were talking. And I don't think they had ever met. And I heard them like collaborating on something for the One Woman's nonprofit. And I was like, my heart just like filled up. It was so good. It was just and
because you're the glue, you're bringing them together and it's like effortless now because you have your system and your process and they're just letting the sparks fly in front of you. That's cool. Super cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels good, I
know. And that's what the podcast has meant to me. It was like we started Work Hard, Smile Large to really help my daughter and put our life's mantra out into the world. And I was doing it through very hyper local events, right? And I know I wanted more people involved. And I know what I was doing was so well received by others that weren't able to be at those events. And so I was like, you know what? I need to do this a little bit different. And so this year in 2023, we took our vision mapping event worldwide and I did it virtually. And there were a couple pilot like in-person locations. And then it's just been going from there. And that's why the podcast was so important because I'm like, I'm meeting these amazing people through relocating and through innovating in my real estate industry and looking at business so differently. And my husband's an entrepreneur and I meet so many amazing people who are doing great books and implementing amazing systems for businesses. And I just feel like this is such a great platform for my family and friends and sphere of influence, everything in Southern California and throughout the nation to hear what I'm hearing while I'm in Austin and vice versa, right? When I take the podcast on the road, everybody in Austin can hear what I'm soaking up in other places. So it's just the beginning for me. We're on month 3 now.
Oh,
yeah. Episode 5 releases today while we're recording. So,
oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is so great.
That's really what it was. It was like, gosh, people have different personalities. I remember being at a MOPS meeting when my kids were little, and we did this personality thing where it's like people are A, B, C, or D, and I'm a C. I'm a connector. Right? I'm a connector. I love talking to people. I listen to what people are doing. I soak things up. And, but being a connector doesn't mean you're invited to everybody's wedding or you're invited to every little thing, right? Yeah. I'm a connector, but I'm like a butterfly, right? So I'm there and it's cool, but I'm not able to be in everything. I'm operating 2 businesses my husband and I are go-getter. We're all over the place all the time. So that was my takeaway. I'm like, this is a connector, but it's a connector that's always there. They can always listen to it, right?
Yeah.
So it's part of me. It's really important. And I want my kids to know that they have a voice. So again, leading through example, and we'll still, hopefully the kids will be on doing a podcast episode themselves in the near future.
Oh my gosh, I
really want to get our youth ambassadors incorporated into the podcast as well. Maybe come on and do like a reunion where they can kind of interview some of the previous guests that they've been inspired by. So
one of the things that's fun is that it's your podcast. You can do whatever you want. Have whatever. There's a lot of pressure with that because,
it's critique on how you're supposed to do it, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure. Oh, you're supposed to do it this way, do it that way, and it's kind of like you do have the freedom to make it your own.
Yeah, which is super cool. And, some things work better than others, but it's fun. It's exciting.
I know. So I have a quick question because it keeps popping into my mind. So writing a book.
Oh,
what's your education background? Like, are you a writer? Or what? What that had to come from somewhere because.
Yes, I am definitely not a writer. I went to school for graphic design. So for me, the book in my head was
a picture book.
Visual. Yeah. Like coffee, like mostly pictures and then an article about each woman.
Nice.
But I went and I shot them in different places around the city. And, we did this whole photo shoot, like different outfits to really catch their vibe and essence. So I have about 14 women done and 40 is the goal. But now it's been 3 years. So everyone's like, I don't look like that anymore. Can we redo it? And it's like, yeah. So I am hoping to go back to the book once I get everything with Women of Austin going. But I met somebody when I was looking for a job after the divorce. I found someone in San Antonio who was doing the Inspiring Woman book is what it was called. And so I worked with Virginia was her name. And we worked together for a little while and I saw her process and how she did her book. And then, she was helping me try to figure out how to do it in Austin. So then I started was going to be picking the women,
picking your people,
and doing the photo shoots and doing the thing. Yeah.
Which is also another great way to get to know people, right?
Yeah. So
get them out in their own element, capture them on camera.
Oh,
it's so fun.
It really creates those bonds. And then it's interesting because you have the women who look like so secure and together and have it all. And on the photo shoots, it's like, is this okay? I'm so nervous. Like what? And then in
nobody
the
else
pictures,
is here. It's just the camera.
Yeah, and in the pictures, you would not know. They're just like bam, 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 but it's always interesting to see that even
they're vulnerable.
Yeah. I thought I always think that's really, really great.
And business women, and a lot of people hold themselves a certain way, right? Like you feel like you have to have this image, and so that's what I really have had to let go of in my 20 years of being a real estate broker. Is I'm not going to try and be somebody I'm not, because I'm going to run into people at the grocery store and I'm going to run into somebody on a date night with my husband. And I'm always just going to be me because it's the easiest way to be. I'm wasting all this energy trying to look like a realtor. And yes, I was younger. When I was younger, you want to wear the blazer and you want to look a little bit older and stuff like that. But now it's this is me, and I'm going to be this way. And I'm not going to try and have a different wardrobe for my different hats.
Yeah.
I'm going to, I have different hats, but I'm going to be the same person no matter what hat I'm wearing, kind of. Whether I'm in my marketing hat or I'm in my mommy hat, it's okay if my hair is in a bun and I've got the kids with me. I'm still going to look somebody in the eyes and talk to them and still really care about what they have to say, just like I would if I was in my high heels,
Yeah. Yeah. So. My daughter makes fun of me. She's like, mommy, the mommy that drops me off from school looks very different from the mommy who picks me up.
My friends' kids are like, Mom, don't get out of the car. Like not today. Nope, not today.
I'm like, I was like, you can get yourself up and get yourself ready so I could get ready if that's a thing. And she's like, no. I'm like, okay, then just.
Yeah. Our best critics are our kids. Let's be honest, right? Like, Mom, your belly button's showing. I'm like, okay. Okay. I'll pull my pants up. Okay. Yeah, like, Mom, you can wear high heels to school today, or. Yeah. Always critiquing us.
So funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
But honesty is the best policy, and that's what they give us.
It's good.
It's really good. So restarting your layout of the book.
Oh yeah. So yeah, no experience in writing. So that was just every woman gets asked the same questions and then they answer. So they write it.
Nice.
And yeah, so you just get to know everyone and the answering the same questions, and then you can visually see who they are. Again, I'm a very visual person. That's why for the Women of Austin podcast, I focus on the YouTube version because I spend a lot of time and energy on, all the different shoots and locations like we were talking about.
Yeah.
So I still have this book, but then it's really expensive and time consuming to put a book together.
But I feel like you're really going to my brain is just so wrapped around it because you're really going to be able to capture a time in Austin and grow Women of Austin and maybe capture another group of women and show another time in Austin as Austin's like developing. And I mean, it's a huge melting pot and there's just going to be, I think, so much change that's going to take place on what's happening in business here that like you're going to be able to create another book possibly and see where Women of Austin and your podcast and everything is at that time. So I feel like it's just the beginning for you. I feel like it's just the beginning for you. Yes. Yeah. So 40 women now and 40 women in X amount of time would be really interesting to see and have on a table side by side.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to hang out more.
You're
motivating me, inspiring me.
So I can put it on my table in our condo.
Yes.
Very cool. So like, let's talk about the events. Talk about what type of events you're doing for Women of Austin. You have the monthly and then you have weekly.
Yes. So we have monthly networking events where, we just had one last night actually. And somebody came up to me after and was like, that was incredible. I met so many different women who do different things. Like I met somebody who I didn't even know that job existed.
It's going into an office, right? Like it's so rare. We're so mobile that the being together with people and cross marketing, cross understanding what they're even doing or where their industries have evolved to is so helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. And just watching and hearing the connections and collaborations that are happening that you wouldn't have thought about. But I just, like you were talking about being who you are as a realtor and just being yourself. Like I just show up authentically and create a space. Like I got there, I took a wrong turn and I got there 5 minutes before the event was supposed to start, but I have some wonderful women who helped me. Shout out to Shannon and Julie. But, they got everything going. And then, I was, just putting my heels on and like fixing the last few things as people were walking in. But I'm like, hey, hi, like just getting the...
Said it. You're like, I created the space.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they bring the energy, right?
And I feel like, and I've actually got this feedback because I'm like, it's so cool. I don't know how these women like came. And the feedback that I got is that like when I first came, you were so chill and relaxed. And I just felt no pressure to be a certain way. And I was like, oh, well, how do you think I made that happen? They're like, you didn't. You're just being you, but being authentic, like you were saying.
I would say even your correspondence and reaching out to me was just so chill is not even the right word. Just so friendly. Right? It was just so friendly.
Oh, thanks.
So I do think even before us meeting in person, I had that same experience.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Actually, that's great feedback. Thank you for saying that because there was a time when I was like, oh, I need to look more professional. I need to take these exclamation points out. Oh, too many smiley faces. And then it never felt right. And then I was like, you know what? No, I like 3 exclamation points if I'm really excited. 1 if I'm kind of, tons of smiley faces, but like that's what you get.
Exactly. And it came off exactly that way. So.
Oh, good. That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Good. Yay.
So big event last night, which was your monthly networking event.
Yes.
And then what's the membership is for the weekly events for your members to kind of get together?
Yeah. So we started a member community. I was at an event and like about 6 months in and somebody's like, how can I join? I'm like, well, you're here.
Okay,
Just,
so
like,
let's tell everybody,
join.
how can you find out about the member community?
Yes.
Where do you do this?
So womenofbostoncommunity.com. And we have a monthly networking event for everyone. And then if you're in the community, your tickets are free for that, or they're $10 to $15 if you're not. But then we get invited to advanced movie screenings. We have a Zoom coffee meetup for people who can't come out once a month. We have in-person coffee meetups. We have happy hours. We did one of those AO tours, like a tour bus that takes you around the city. We learned about Austin. We have a brunch coming up. We have a book club where Hearth and Soul hosts us, and the author comes and we get to talk to her about the book. So we've done that.
I think I saw that last one.
So good. So we did it with Neetha Bhushan and Vasavi Kumar. And then we have Emily Williams coming up. So we just have some really amazing ladies who come in this nice, intimate conversation in a
Okay, now
beautiful
behind the
space.
scenes little question right now.
Yes.
Who helps you plan all this out? Like, do you have a little team that helps you, or are you kind of like, come on, because that's a lot of like planning, especially all the different venues and things like that. So give me your secret.
It was just me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, for a long time.
So you don't sleep either.
You don't. Exactly.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
Totally.
We take small naps.
Yes. Seriously. I'm like, up to Olivia's my daughter. I'm like, Liv, I'm going to take a nap. She's like, got it.
And our daughters have the same name.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Here we are, connected.
It's so perfect. I know. And from California, got that going on. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it.
Well, kudos to you, because that's a lot of planning.
Yeah. So I do have 2 women helping me now who are fantastic. And that's been really great, especially with the member community, because that's a lot to manage. And I do want to make sure that, but I was the one who had, would show up at all the coffees, would show up at everything. But now if, I have something else going, I just know that one of them will be there. And with the members in the member community, it's been unreal in such a good way, because they've all stepped up and really taken ownership and pride in it. Yeah. And somebody told me she was a member of a community. She's a hairdresser for like hairdressers. And she's like, in the beginning, it was just us and it was like very small. And she's like, but as it grew, she's like, it became special. But she's like, the original members always felt like a certain kind of special, like buy-in and yeah, like the
founder kind of like vibe.
Yeah. And I see that. And then new people come in and they'll like, show them or like want to meet them at the events. And so, but I got to say, the women in Austin are just so incredible. And I just feel like like I'm friends with people who run other women's groups. Like we do events together because there's plenty of room for all of us.
So intimidated moving here because there was this perception of Texans and people not really being accepting of, people from other areas and things like that.
Especially
and I'm like,
California.
Well, I'm not coming here to change Texas or do anything like that. Like, it was always my disclaimer, but it's a melting pot. And it's a fact, there's not that many Austinites here. Yes. And so it's already a melting pot, whether people are coming from out of state now as opposed to 10 years ago. And I think Austin, for that reason, resembles Scottsdale a lot for me. Like when I was going to college and I was meeting people, it was the first time I had left home and I'm in this state and I realized people are from all over the place here.
Yes.
And so it's really cool because everybody's bringing a piece of where they were from here and sharing it with each other. Mm-hmm. And it's just that it's been such a positive experience compared to what my perception was before I moved here. Welcomed with open arms and pulled up and just, guided. And it's been really amazing.
So I used to say to people that I was from, when they asked where I'm from, I'm like, oh, California, like with no pride, like embarrassed almost or shy or like, I know. But I cut that out because I was like, no, yes, I'm from California. Like I say it with pride now. And I see other people who are like, oh, I know, I'm one of them. And it's like, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Like we're here.
Yes. Came here for a purpose, and this is your community and, you can run yourself out of the community, but we're going to welcome you.
Yeah, exactly. and since I changed that attitude, and then I was kind of looking back, I'm like, well, it was because of one person that I had
just
that
was always in the back
about.
of your mind, right?
Yeah, he was from here and we are good friends, but he's like, oh, you Californians. And just put it in my head. And now I just say, oh yeah, California. And a lot of times, me too. or I'm from here, I'm from here.
Yep.
But then I can have real conversations with people too who I've met who are from here. And the feedback that I've got is we love it and we hate it.
Yeah.
Just like anything.
Change is uncomfortable. You got to,
Yeah.
but it's inevitable.
Exactly. So like, why blame you guys? Yeah, we do have a great city.
There is so much to enjoy here. So that's what I'm saying. Your book is going to give so much insight too. Like,
oh yeah,
what parts of Austin everybody's in and what they contribute to. And, that's kind of really neat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go get on that when I
know.
home.
We're going to set a date. So my friend Tiffany, who will be a guest in the future, always makes me set a date. This is part of her business advice, is like setting a date for certain goals or certain things, and just keep that date, like month, day, year, when you're going to be done with that. And if you just look at that every day or often, like our vision maps and things on our vision maps that we do, it'll be possible because the steps will be that much easier.
Okay, does Tiffany live here? I want to meet her.
Yes, she does.
Good.
You'll love her.
I think friends like that. I mean, I have, supportive great friends, but
yeah.
I love her already.
I'm going to bring her to the next networking event.
Yay! Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
It's game on.
Yes. We're doing one coming up. I'll have you I'll check with you.
Yes.
As soon as I have the date.
Because I only have like 2 times, because we bounce around a lot. I only have 2 times that I'm gone in the next 3 or 4 months. So,
okay, good.
Yeah. So
good,
open
good.
calendar right now.
We're going to do a content filming day.
Ooh.
So, because, the selfies and whatever, but for social media where we just all kind of hang out and like take each other's phones and film each other and just have B-roll or whatever. But
and you get awesome locations. So she films her podcast in different locations every time, which is cool because it gives insight to what the location is and why you're there. And you probably get to meet people through the process, whether it's a business or things like that. But I would love that.
It's been pretty great. Yeah. Well, what we're working on for this content day is a new office building that has a rooftop, like terrace, indoor, outdoor, with a view of the city. So it's
nice.
Real good.
I know, when our days are so long, the lighting's so beautiful right now.
Yeah.
I love the weather here.
That'd be fun.
Love the weather. So cool. Well, we will put our calendars together.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like our viewers to know? Because I think the one thing I want to ask you, and you came prepared, is what is your life motto or a mantra that you live by?
A mantra. Well, now that I like that this is at the end because you get to know me a little bit better, go with the flow. That has saved me so much stress.
Yep.
And I taught it to my daughter and I watch her use it and deal with it. And sometimes she'll turn around and be like, hey, mommy, what do we do? Like if she sees me getting stressed out and I'm like, take a breath. And I'm like, go with the flow. Because we can't control everything.
You can't.
And if you try, you'll drive yourself crazy, which I was doing. And once I kind of let go and that will repeat in my head when needed.
And doesn't it make it so much more meaningful when you use it with your family? Like you can have a life motto or a mantra or something you say, but if you're not putting it out there and seeing it in action, in sync with you, and whether you have children or not, like a friend or a coworker or whatever, like we use work hard, smile large at every meeting now, all the time. My kids use it, but just seeing their utilization of it and the power it has within them is so cool, right? And we all have our own unique mantras. I mean, or you can use each of ours. Like either way.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So very cool. Go with the flow. And I believe that. So I tell my daughter, we don't say go with the flow, but I say blow out the candle.
Oh.
And she blows out her candle just to kind of slow her down. She's one of those, she's really like fast paced and always thinking ahead of us. And just smart, super smart. So like when she gets going and she's just like, what about this? What about that? And a lot of questions. I'm like, blow out the candle. You take a second and just blow out the candle.
I'm totally using that. Thank you
like
so much.
You'd be like,
I'm using it for me, for my daughter,
because the feeling of blowing out your candles on your cake is so fun, or making a wish. And so it makes you close your eyes most time and think about something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. Good little pause button.
Yeah. Using that.
Well, you've accomplished some amazing stuff in the last few years. And I know you have a lot of goals ahead of you, which we'll keep in touch about all of it.
Collaborate on stuff and all the things.
Because the main focus for Women of Austin is collaboration and connection. And you can't get anywhere without that. I mean, this is a constant theme or topic that keeps coming up in all of our episodes, right? Everybody working together is so much more powerful than trying to go it on your own.
Definitely.
So now that you've got your direction and you've got your light shining on your events and your memberships, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want it to be that I was someone who improved many lives. And I want to just be known as, like we were talking about, a great connector.
Powerful. Leaving your mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not just on your family, on your community. And now your community is so big. So thank you for sharing that. You're already in motion on that.
Thank you.
Right? It's just each year I keep adding to it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So how can our listeners or our watchers get in touch with you?
Yeah. So Instagram is where I mostly pour my energy into. Women of Austin is women_of_Austin.
And we'll have it in the description and on our video too, if you're watching the video on YouTube.
Yes. And then Mindy Hoffman, Mindy.Hoffman on Instagram is my personal, which it's a goal this year to build my I've been focusing so much and pouring so much into Women of Austin, and now I have some help over there. So I'm going to be working on my personal page and my personal branding and all of that. So there'll be some fun changes going over there. I'm going to see what happens.
Because we're real people too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not just a realtor. And, work hard, smile large is a big part of my personal life too. But we have our personal lives that we like to share with our family and things like that too. So
exactly.
It's great.
Yeah. So I have a cute little Shorkie. I think my daughter's pretty cute. My fiance, Dave, I think he's real cute, obviously.
Well.
So we'll be seeing all of that.
Good. Well, we'll have all the information for you to get in touch with Mindy and learn more about Women of Austin, and maybe be inspired by her and be able to do something like this in your community. That is what this is all about, taking life events or taking ideas and putting them into action and just going with the flow.
Going with the flow.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
I can't wait to continue to help each other.
Yeah.
That's really where we're at now. Now we're like, let's get our pencil and paper out.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I already see some things that you've done with this podcast that I can improve on. I can use to improve on
many
mine.
Friends that have started small businesses and that are entrepreneurs and moms, and I'm going to gather a group of them up and we'll be at the next event together for sure.
Good.
Get summer wound down and get out of the house or get a little break from the families too. So
okay. Even just a few hours.
Helping each other learn and grow. Well, thank you so much for joining me. This is another episode of the Work Hard, Smile Large podcast. Women Helping Women is on this one, bringing people together. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more episodes of the podcast. Work hard,
smile large.
Welcome to the Work Hard, Smile Large podcast, where we explore the outcome of hard work and the power of positivity in our daily lives. In each episode, we'll delve into the benefits of maintaining a positive mindset, hear inspiring stories, and provide tips for cultivating smiles around us. We will highlight healthy habits and living a full life while giving focus to various lifestyles that shine bright in this world as we collaborate with each unique guest to help spread the Work Hard, Smile Large vibe. Now is the time to come together, pour into others, and have the youth we mentor and influence daily inspire their peers to become WHSL Youth Ambassadors too. This podcast is here to support you on your journey and bring others together to build their dreams, achieve goals, and determine what we all want our legacies to be. So sit back, relax, and get ready to embrace the Work Hard, Smile Large vibe.